we must now ask, how did he intend for time to be calculated? Did he intend for January 1st to be acknowledged as the beginning of a new year, or the beginning of a new cycle of a year? How did he, who did command the days or the morning since the beginning, as we know in the book of Genesis, it says what? There was evening and then there was morning. First day. There was evening and there was morning. Second day. So on and so forth. The God who said that, the God who put that in motion, how did he intend for time to be calculated? Well, we're going to find out. Now, according to what we understand, according to the records of Enoch, according to the records of Jubilees, we understand that time is calculated by the use of Sabbaths. In fact, we don't have to go there. We can go into the Bible. The Bible tells us, Exodus 20:8, remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. 6 days shalt thou labor and do all thy work, but the seventh day is the Sabbath of the Lord. In it shalt thou rest from all thy labors, thou and thy son, thy daughter, thy manservants, thy maidservants, thy ox, and thy donkey. The Most High commanded us to rest on the seventh day. The Bible also tells us that what? The Sabbath is a sign between us and the Most High. So we calculate time according to Sabbaths. How many Sabbaths are there in a year? Well, that takes us to the records, Jubilees. That takes us to the records of Enoch, where according to those records, we understand that there are 52 weeks, 52 Sabbaths in a year. How many days in a year? There are 364 days in a year. How many months? 12. There's 8 months with 30 days, 4 months with 31 days. We understand that there are 4 seasons. And those months that have 31 days, that 31st day represents what is called an intercalary day, which brings in a change of seasons. How many days are there in a season? 91. How many weeks in a season? 13. So from one season to the next, there is 91 days or 13 weeks. From spring to summer, 91 days. From summer to fall, 91 days. From fall to winter, 91 days. From winter to spring, completing the cycle, 91 days. And within those calculations of time, within those cycles of time, we understand that we have certain specific days that have been severed out as high holy days, such as the Passover, such as the Feast of Unleavened Bread, such as the Feast of Weeks, starting with the first fruits, such as the Feast of Trumpets, such as the Day of Atonement, such as the Feast of Tabernacles, Purim, the Feast of Dedication, These are the high holy days that have been severed out within that cycle of a year, within that cycle of the time span of 364 days, 52 Sabbaths that we celebrate within that time period. When does the year start? Well, the year starts during what the world calls spring. Okay, it starts in the change of season known as spring, when new life is starting to spring up. You're starting to see flowers bud. The grass is starting to turn green. Those trees whose leaves fell during the fall time and were dead pretty much, or the leaves were pretty much absent from that tree all the way through the winter time. You're now starting to see the presence of life in those trees, with new leaves starting to bud and grow on those trees during when? During the springtime. To let you know that what? You have officially entered a new year. Not in the dead of winter when everything is still dead. There's no new life. There's not much that have changed from the 31st of December to the 1st of January. Okay? Hopefully that's clear. Now, that leads us to our next point. Regardless of what the world is following, because we know whether it's December 25th, whether it's October 31st, whether it's January 1st, we understand that those days have no significance to us. Regardless of what the world is following, we understand that before there was a December 25th as a day of feasting and celebration for the world, we understand that on that date, we still had a responsibility to worship God. Before the world celebrated October 31st, okay, when is Thanksgiving? November 25th, November 24th, whenever Thanksgiving falls on. Before there was any such thing as a Thanksgiving, we were following and worshiping the Most High.